So I've just stood outside an ex-Guesthouse that I've bought and I've converted into a HMO. And what I'm going to do is take a tour around it. We actually got tenants moving in today, so I'm going to take you around for a tour of this project. So here we are. We're in this ex-Guesthouse conversion, and what happened with this project is, even at level I'm at, I didn't want to take this on unless I had one builder. So what I took on is an architect. When you're managing refurbs, how you manage it correctly is putting together a program of works. So let's take you around anyway, show you around as I'm telling you this. The original plan with this building was to turn it into service accommodation. We got 105 objections. So this is when I go back to make sure you're in the right position to follow through with what you're doing in your journey. Because of my online profile, I found a builder, because one of the things people say, how do you find builders? I've just done an ensuite in my own home and I didn't use any of my friends to do that work. So again, look, I know it's a bit of a ramble here in between, but it's nice to tell you. This is another room. This one's rented, one of the top ones, 525. We've got tenant moving into this one as well. And we got this out from an ex-display kitchen. All these little things help save money. So I've just stood outside an ex-Guesthouse that I've bought and I've converted into a HMO. And what we'll do is take a tour around it. We actually got tenants moving in today, so I'm going to take you around for a tour of this project. But I'm also going to share with you in this video how we managed to build, how we managed builders, what we spent on this, what challenges we had along the way on this. And make sure you stay around to the end, because everybody stays to the end. I'm going to give you a little template of the contract of what we use for builders. So you've got to be at the end. I'll give you that contract. So let's go in and have a look around. I'll show you what challenges we've had with this and what we delivered on this refurb. So here we are. We're in this ex-Guesthouse conversion, and what I'm going to share with you in this video is the challenges, as I said, what I've had with this. But before I share the challenges, what I need you to share with me is your thumb right on that like button and give us a like. Really helps the algorithms out and really helps this channel. But look, I'm going to take you around. I'm going to show you what we're doing. I'm going to tell you what we're renting this for, what we've spent on stuff, what challenges we have, how you can manage and find these builders. So this is going to be a mix between a tour and finding and managing builders. Building element of refurbishment is the most challenging thing out there in any market. In the last couple of years, builders have been so busy because of the pandemic. Homeowners have been using builders. More investors have been coming to the market. Builders have been super booked out. It's been a massive challenge. And what happened with this project is, even at level I'm at, I didn't want to take this on unless I had one builder. So what I took on is an architect. When you're managing refurbs, how you manage it correctly is putting together a program of works. So let's take you around anyway, show you around as I'm telling you this. So I'll take you around. This is one of the bedrooms. They've got something, I think it's this one they're moving into today. We've rented this, I think this is rented out for $515. It's a nice large bedroom. And if you have a look in there, you've got a nice ensuite in there. Basically, our original plan with this building was to turn it into service accommodation. We got 105 objections. So this is when I go back to make sure you're in the right position to follow through with what you're doing in your journey. Because this project, our budget is about 70K with a 20% contingency to turn it into 4 units of service accommodation. It's worked out that we had so many complaints that we had to change that plan. It turned out being a HMO. So we had a door there, we had put a new door back in there, this wall went back, this ensuite went in last minute. There was loads of alterations, it added to the budget. But the biggest challenge we had at the start was, when I was talking on a project like this, I wanted to make sure I had one builder to do the whole work. I wanted a good program of works. So I looked around, builders have got a good, massive lead times at the moment. So I spoke to an architect I knew. The architect said, yeah, I've got a builder just finishing a job, he'd be able to take this on. Told the builder my budget, told him my specification. He said he can do it in the timescale I wanted, and literally it's an auction property. I said to the builder, if you can't do this in these timescales, let me know, because I'm not going to bid on this. He then said, yeah, it's possible. 2 weeks before completion, after I put a 13k deposit down, he said I can't do it in the budget and timescale you want. So then I'm left scrambling around. But luckily, I talk about the property delta matrix. I said have a watch of this video to see what sort of projects you take on. You get loads of gurus and coaches online trying to tap you into these bigger projects because they are much more rewarding. This is going to earn me a good cash flow, but you've got to make sure you're in a position to ride out challenges. I've had lots of challenges and I'm quite experienced. The thing is, some people, there's exceptions of the rule that can jump on that video. We'll talk about the different people's sections of the rule that can do this, but you've got to make sure you're in a position both cash wise to be able to ride this out, mentally wise because it causes a lot of pressure on you, and network wise to know you've got a network. It was pressure because I've got a good network. I scrambled around getting builders, and how I got the builder, we ended up using my electrician, which ended up being a bit of a challenge in itself. Let's take you around anyway while I'm explaining this to the next room. So again, this is the second room that we've got, and I feel I might as well take you on a tour and explain what we're doing with at the same time. So because of the network because of my online profile, I found a builder. Because one of the things people say, how do you find builders? I've just done an ensuite in my own home, and I didn't use any of my friends to do that work. So again, look, I know it's a bit of a ramble here in between, but it's nice to tell you. This is another room. This one's rented, one of the top ones, 525. We've got tenant moving into this one as well. But yeah, finding builders. I use online, I use Facebook groups, I use Check a Trade and all these different places. And what I've done with this builder, what happened with this builder is he seen my online profile, wanted to work with me. But we'd already started with a Sparky, electrician, a clear out guy, so we had multiple trades on here. And when the builder come in, the builder we had could have done this whole build on his own, but we'd already started with the other trades. I had no choice. I didn't want to do that. If I found him earlier, I would have given him the whole job, but I didn't have any choice. And what happened with this is managers between them, because there was changes in there, the builder we had originally, trying to get a correlation. So I paid my architect £600 to put together a schedule of work and program of works, and put together all the CDM program for that. But because there was 3 different guys, 3 different directions, it was hard to get a collaboration between them. And sometimes, look, in a perfect world, you say this goes like this, but sometimes you have to pick your battles and go with what you've got. You know, and I had to go with what I've got, and by not having a program of works, it really caused I had a program of works, but not getting them aligned into that on a time scale caused me loads of challenges on this. I had to pick that battle. Going back on there, what could I have done with that? I feel it was the right decision because we was in on it. But in hindsight, what I probably would have done is potentially just paid the electrician and paid the plumber to say, look, finish up where you're at the moment, and I'm taking over this one guy. But hindsight's beautiful. But let's take you around to have a look at the rest of the building. So yeah, let's take you around. Look, this is a massive building. We've got, as it stands at the moment, 3 communal areas and 6 bedrooms, 5 en suites. As I said, they're the ones they rented for. I paid for this building 124k. Again, this is another communal area. We're going to put a computer on here. This is obviously where they do the washing. We're not going to put another telly in here. We're going to put a computer in here and make this like a little bit of a study, washing room kind of thing. Behind here, we've not got code for that. I'll take you around the outside in a minute. This is just a storeroom at the moment. So we just shut it off. In the future, it's a 6-bedroom HMO, but in the future, it's got potential to be something bigger potentially. And we might look at that in the future. The future plans for this might include, I don't know what we'll do with it, but there's something else we can do with it. But what I had to do was, because there was a battle because it's going to be initially, this here was going to be one flat, and it was going to be into 3 extra units in the front part of it. And what happened is the neighbours complained and they had 105 objections. So I said, let's just get this finished because I'm on expensive finance, bridging finance. Let's get it finished, let's get it rented out, and then figure out in the future, set it up in a way where we can reconfigure this again if we need to, but at least get some income while I'm battling that out. Again, this is why it's important to have that all-weather portfolio. As I said, this is in the property delta matrix where you've got good foundation. I've got good foundation of income supporting me while we're going on with these battles. Because when we changed it, the walls was painted. We was about 4 or 5 months into the build, the walls were painted, and then because we changed to HMO, we had to chase all the walls back out to put the different fire alarms in there. We had to, then building control come in and asked us to do soundproofing. Again, the walls was painted, and we had to pull the building apart again when it was nearly finished. But this is just building. Like, I just want to be real with you. But come, let's have a look around the rest of it. We'll take you to that part in a little while. So little bits what we try to do, make this a little bit more special. We put in nice radiators over here, nice tap. We bought this worktop, it's a solid wood worktop, and we got this out from an ex-display kitchen. All these little things help save money. Again, here another nice design, radiator in keeping. A couple of features we've got up there, we painted there. These lights, that we've got bought from Dwell, and bought them from Dwell Outlet, and end up giving, I think, about 40 quid per light, and about 170 quid them lights. So standard look, fully plastic throughout. Grey skirting looked really nice. Come up here, the builder was instructed to put grey skirting on and grey handles, and only done the handles grey and not the skirting. Said we do need the skirtings done, and he done it, and I'm glad he did. Really makes it stand out. So again, a few bits like the features with the lights and that. We put the living room on this part here. So what we've done with this refurb as well is each floor we put separate electrics in. So in the future we could split this into 4 flats, subject to planning obviously, but you set the electrics up in a way and the plumbing up in a way that we could separate that again in the future. So this is our communal area. Again, originally, again, one of the challenges we had, this communal area had a wall here, and this was going to be an extra bedroom or something like that. And there's the door to this communal area was right here. HMO officer come in, architect said that's fine for the space. HMO officer come in and says it's not enough, we want to big up the space. So I had to open it out, so it's just an open plan, living kind of diner thing. So again, it's all plastered, all done, and we had to smash it out again. So these are some of the things. Look, architect actually advised me that was fine, but this kitchen here was a next display kitchen. What we done was bought a few extra doors and some Howden units and put them on, and it's worked out really nice. This here, I can't remember, it's £550 or £600 on its own, just that cupboard, and we paid £550 for all the extra display units and bought a couple of extra units. This whole kitchen cost me something like under £2 grand. I don't know the exact amount because it's mixed and matched and I have to look over the bits. And it's probably a good 8-10 grand kitchen if you got it in Wicks. The little touches like this, bought this from Wicks, this come from Wicks. The tap didn't, but we had gold handles. But I put, in some of my refurbs, I put cladding in them. I'm hoping to get, as a bricks and mortar, we've had a down valuation, I'll talk about that in a minute. But as a bricks and mortar, I believe it's worth probably about 250-ish. There's some other large buildings the same size as this that are between 200 and 310. They're more family homes because of the gardens, but it's the same sort of size. So as a bricks and mortar, I believe it's about 250. So at that end of the market, instead of putting cladding here, I put the tiles on. But I did use cladding in here as a mix, so to try and attract that out. Again, another little feature we done was a feature wall. This is just paneling. Nice little feature on there that makes this look a little bit nicer. The gold mirror, the go with the gold handles. But yeah, pleased with the way it's come out. And this went way over time and budget though, way over time and budget. The budget was partly because we had to drop these ceilings, put the soundproofing in. We had to take this wall out once it was up. We had to re-put the new fire alarm system in once it's already in. So a lot of them bits. And then this was a challenge with the builders because kept pushing the builders back, and then they're taking on more jobs and struggling to get them on site. And again, the challenge, how you overcome that would be having a good program of works. And I'd advise having one builder on a job like this, not project managing individual ones. As I said, I had no choice at the time. I had to just go with what I had. I was completing on it and I couldn't find a one-stop builder until we'd started the work. So it's just, you have to deal with the cards you've got at the time. Like in an ideal world, you do it that way, but very rarely is it an ideal world. But come, let's take you around, let's show you the rest of this. We've got the communal bathroom. This is actually cladding in these. So communal bathroom in there, nice vanity unit so that they can, what's the name? We've got a nice spec with a rain shower in there. We just spec'd it up a little bit more. We do spec up our buy-to-lets a bit, but we just wanted to just go a little bit nicer and attract the right style tenants. This is an ensuite room. So this is the smallest ensuite room we've got out of all of these. This one I think renting for $590. I can't remember all the prices, but around $590 I think it is. And yeah, just a nice little room. But again, in here we end up soundproofing this ceiling, cost us loads of extra costs, and it turned out once we'd done most of the work, the actual council building control told us to do it. Then they come back and went, actually, I'm not sure you have to do it. It turned out I didn't have to do it, but it's a better building for it. It's more heavily insulated and soundproof. It's going to be a better living environment. So let's take you through to this room. I'm on camera, it's just one of the tenants is moving in at the moment. But yeah, we'll take you into here. This bedroom, so this section here we took out. You entered this from the hallway before, and there was a toilet actually here. And we've got to get the bed base for this one. It's the only one we've got a bed base and what's the name in. But this is the only one that's not got a It's not got an ensuite in it. I'm a bit gutted. We could have fitted one here, and the plumbing's here for it. And now in hindsight, I wish I did get one in, but hindsight's beautiful sometimes. But it's got an ensuite there. So it's only one using an ensuite as it stands. So when we bought this as well, these are all separate rooms, so we reconfigured this out into how it was. And the idea behind this is we reconfigured this in a way that if we want to make this into flats, that's going to be entry to this flat here, and it's going to be a 2 or 3 bedroom flat, because it does work as a flat that way. That's just a cupboard, like a storage cupboard, and in there we've got the fuse board. So let's take you up to the 3rd floor. It's a ginormous building. So we've got a smashed, this is what we had to re-put in. When we changed it to being a HMO, we had to put these smashed glass ones in, and yeah, we had to re-channel it all back out. We had a grade D fire alarm system when it had to be a grade A fire alarm system. So we had to, the walls were painted. It was heartbreaking to re-channel it out again. The paint job had to be started from nearly scratch again because of the mess and everything it took from that. But just the joys of this game. In here, we've got a big cylinder, water cylinder, and we've got 3 rooms here. This is at the moment just a communal space. We're just going to shut it off and just think about what we could potentially do in the future, subject to planning. We've not picked our plan yet. This is this and the ground floor room and the 2 most popular ones. They're 525. I think that one without an ensuite was 470, and yeah, this one's 525. And again, these are the ones that everybody want. Really popular one. It's got its own kitchenette area in there. Little tip: if you put cooking facilities in here, it becomes a studio. If you don't put cooking facilities in here, somebody could put a microwave on here, and you got your fridge in here. It becomes like still a HMO bedroom, but much more desirable. This one's actually got the ensuite is actually a bathroom as well. So that was already there because this is an ex-Guesthouse. There was a lot of bathrooms and toilets in there already. So that one was already there, so we kept that configuration the same. So it's literally just the plaster and paint in here. So into this room we have again another ensuite room. Again, this is already an existing ensuite room. We just had to redo this. We put a new suite in there, new toilet, new shower. So it just took months over. So finishing this off, the final snag, the builder was booked in and there was loads of backwards and forwards. The builder we used, one of my coaching clients used him, so I know he can finish him from end to end when he's got the whole project. It was a bit difficult for him, but it's difficult both ways. We had a big challenge between us, the other trades on here. I've had a lot of challenges, but that said, I knew that from day one it could happen. Would I have bought this from day one if I didn't have a one-stop builder? I wouldn't have. Even my experience managing individual trades and the network we've got, I'd only do something like this again if I've got the one-stop builder lined up, ready for it with the program of works and everything together with that, and a good contract. But it was difficult nailing them down on contracts purely because of where that original builder jumped out and we started using multiple people, and we had to roll with what we had at that point. It wasn't ideal and it did cause challenges, but the fact I've got a decent portfolio to support me with that really helped. As promised, look, if you give me build a contract in the comments, what I'll do is I'll send you over an agreement we can use. Not a JCT one. If you're going to do a high level 200, 300 grand refurb, you need a JCT one, but this is this agreement to put together your terms and everything together on that, and it just helps you keep them a bit accountable. So build a contract. I'll share you a contract that we use just on our refurbs. And now we're into the juicy part, the numbers. So right, let's take downstairs to the back part that's not used at the moment, and we'll talk through the numbers, what this refurbs cost me. I told you what the rents are on these rooms. This room's I think 515 as well. So you can see what the rents are on and out. And we'll tell you through the numbers, the valuation, the challenges. I'll get with that. So this little part here is this, with that part we're showing you, that communal area in there a minute ago, that this was meant to be a flat. This part here, there's a bathroom in here. So the potential for this in the future could be another room with an ensuite subject to planning permission. So this has got potential to potentially be used, split up still going forward into flats. We design it in a way so the top level could be a flat, this could be a flat here, there could be a flat at the front. So we could get 4 flats out of this still, subject to planning. We don't know what we're going to go for. Or we could potentially get an 8-bedroom HMO, but at the time being, we just wanted income from it. What I didn't want to be is on the bridge, battling a planning application while I'm stuck on the bridge. So let's tell you what it's been costing me. So far, we're into this for about 95k, probably smidging over, not exact numbers. I think to get this part finished off and do the last final bits, we're going to be into this for around 100k. That was all the free, that was because we had to reconfigure. At the point of when we had to put the soundproofing in, which cost us about 6 grand, which you had to put the fire alarm in, which was 2 grand, and channeling that, then being repainted and being skimmed in the areas, cost an extra, probably another about 5 or 6 grand. Reconfiguring it, put the extra ensuite in there. When we was on track at that point, we was on track to bring it in probably for about mid-70s, late 70s. But because of the reconfigurations, the change arounds, we're now more towards mid-90s, 100k marks. You've got to make sure you've got them buffers in your business and you can handle them out. So valuations, just had this valued, and literally the house across the road went for 150. Houses on the streets are about 150, 3-bedroom, just terrace. We'll show you a little clip of these terrace houses now. And there's some big buildings in the area between 250 and 310, literally within 5 minutes walk from here. They are more suited to family homes because they've got gardens. You can see that is the only garden we've got here. So they are slightly more suited, but I believe as a bricks and mortar bought back to a normal family home, just as it stands in the condition it is, it's probably like 250-ish sort of mark. So I'm into this for about 240, but as a commercial valuation as a HMO, this should be about 210 on the lower end of it. But what happens with commercial valuations is you have to get the valuer to agree it's a commercial valuation and value it that way. The valuer didn't agree on it and he didn't value it that way, and he actually just downvalued it, in my opinion. He valued it at 190. His opinion was houses across the road could be turned into a 5-bedroom HMO and nearly generate the same sort of money, even though they wouldn't have en suites. And I'm like, no way. Like, this has got co-living, multiple communal areas, big en suites, big bedrooms. Like, it's night and day. And even if you did take one of them houses across the road at 150, you'd probably spend 25, 30k converting it. So then it's close to the price of this already, so it's just bonkers. We've got 2 choices. Do I challenge it? I'm on the bridge at the moment, so I'm just exiting it, and because I'm going to figure out the plan and what goes forward, once I've figured out that plan, I will then go back, because it's going to be worth more money whatever I do with the forward plan in place, and then I'll go back and then try and refinance it and get it on the new valuation at that point. But again, this is what you've got to prepare yourself for. At day one, I knew this is a possibility, so I've made peace with that the minute I bought this property. And the reason I made peace with that is because I've got a good foundation underneath me, like I talk about in the Property Delta Matrix, to be able to support that. I've got a good mindset because I've done about 100 refurbs before, or over 100 refurbs, to be able to deal with the challenges that come with this. So if you're early in your journey, you've not got the confidence, courage and conviction, you've not got the money and network, then I don't encourage everybody to do these style ones. Stick with the easy stuff, build your confidence up and skill up. If you've got transferable skills, like you build already, or you just got loads of courage, then go for these ones. But I just want to be transparent. There is challenges. Things don't always go to plan, but it's going to be rewarding. Look, at the moment, it's generating about 3 grand a month. It's going to probably have around a £500 a month mortgage on it. So if you put the bills in, bills are probably going to be about £600. So there's still benefit from that, and that's what I've done at the start. Worst case scenario, if I leave a lump of money in there, is that money working hard? So my return on my capital is ginormous still. So it does really work well. So look, that's how this has gone. That's my transparency on it. Still worked well. I'm still happy with the outcome of it. It's been a bit painful along the way, but we're moving tenants in now. We're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're still here to the end, massive thank you very much. My wife's lived my terms. My mission is to help as many people live in their terms using property as a vehicle to do that. So if you've not done it already, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified. We're putting out 2 videos a week at the moment. We're going to up that to 3 videos a week. Massive thank you to everybody supporting the channel, because we're starting to get that growth now, and it's thanks to you guys. Please share this out to somebody if you think they find that valuable. Don't forget to put in builder contract in the comments, and we'll get you over the builder contract if you want a copy of that. And remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms. Have an amazing day.